Katheryne is a puppet. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about how our favorite Adventurers Guild staff member is potentially connected to one of the new Harbingers that was revealed, Sandrone, whose name, like most of the other Harbingers, I'm gonna butcher, so apologies in advance. Since the start of the game, there's been no reason to expect that Katheryne was anything but a bugged NPC that miHoYo refused to fix because she kept saying error or rebooting. But now, that's not the case. It actually has potential to be something they set up from the very beginning. Before that though, I would really like to thank my friend LadySplitChin for making me such an amazing thumbnail. I really appreciate it. You probably haven't heard of her yet, but she's an amazing artist who's made some of the best looking thumbnails on my channel. She just made a YouTube channel, and I would really love it if you would check her out. You can actually watch her draw the whole thing live over at her channel, and I'll leave a link in the description so you can go check it out. Now, let's get back to Katheryne. Katheryne may act like a human, she may behave like a human, but at the end of the day, she has that keyhole in the back of her neck that we've all noticed, and I feel like she is made by Sandrone. Right now, we don't really know much about Sandrone besides her teaser that just came out and Child's voice lines about her being an engineer, but her similarities to Katheryne are very intriguing. They both have maid headwear, they both rest their hands they say wear, the demeanor that they have feels like it's the same. To a certain degree, part of me feels like maybe Sandrone is also a puppet and the real one is inside of the robot. Maybe it'll be revealed later on that her real name is Katheryne, and maybe inside of the robot is a rotting body version of her that doesn't want erosion. Personally, I believe that Sandrone created all the Katherynes as a means to get control of the Adventurers Guild in disguise, as well as gain information on everybody who enters the major cities. I don't think she's the type of person that rose to power by using strength or physical feats. I think she's more of the type of person who used her smarts and ability to create in order to gain her position in the Harbingers. I mean, knowledge is power after all. And I like to think that somewhere in the world, she has a factory where she takes living people and turns them into androids. Like an android robot army of Katherynes. It's not something that would be new for a member of the Fatui. I mean, even Dottore changed Mr. Krupp into a machine in the manga, with no emotions or greed. Kinda makes me think that if Sandrone ever ends up getting a boss fight, she'll just be chucking Katherynes left and right at us. Also, I see the puppets in Genshin not really as puppets, but more like androids, like Detroit Become Human and Nier Automata, where they have intelligence and a will of their own, not just empty husks that do what they're commanded to do, most of the time. For example, Animush never does what he's supposed to do. I mean, Scaramouche never does what he's supposed to do. And while though Katheryne may be linked to one of the Harbingers, it doesn't mean necessarily that she'll turn on us or even wants to hurt us. She just might be forced to do it even though she doesn't want to. This is all going off of the assumption that she's not a human, by the way. I used to think that Katheryne was just a nurse joy of this game where she's just supposed to be there to give us our daily primo gems and then be done. But now it feels like all the identical looking Katherynes have a purpose, which is nice. I mean, we do know that the Adventurers Guild originates from Snezhnaya, which has advanced knowledge of robotics and automatons. It feels like each region likes to dance around the subject of her being an android as well. For example, Katheryne from Inazuma likes to make jokes about being everywhere at once, and her idle lines for rebooting and error seem to follow her everywhere. Katheryne, being an AI, also explains how she can work 24/7 without breaks. Katheryne is always there, she's always watching, and she's ready to help with anything you need. It's kind of weird that the Adventurers Guild is stationed in Snezhnaya though. In the Adventurers book, the Fatui are listed as enemies. So if the headquarters is in Snezhnaya, why in the world would they make themselves their own enemies? They're kinda shooting themselves in the foot. It also could be that the Adventurers Guild has just become independent, but we really don't know. This could be wrong, but I feel like Sandrone looks like she's from Fontaine. We don't really have much information on Fontaine right now, but I have a feeling it's going to be a mix of show business and steampunk. And I also think it's going to be a place with like a bunch of courtrooms and judges where if you don't reproduce results, you're treated the same as a criminal deserving of any kind of judgment. If anything, it's probably a good idea for them to do the reveal of Katheryne being an AI, either in Snezhnaya or in Fontaine. Besides this, I kinda wonder, is Katheryne a puppet that can be controlled by someone else? Like, can Sandrone control Katheryne from wherever she is in the world? Does she need like a certain button to control her? Can she have someone else control Katheryne? There's so many unanswered questions. The question of whether or not Katheryne can be hacked as well is another thing. Like, we've never seen Katheryne leave her box yet in the current story, but if she ever does one day, is it really going to be the Katheryne we know, or is it going to be someone else? But there you have it, folks. That's my thoughts on Katheryne and Sandrone's relationship. It'll be interesting to see whose side she ends up choosing later on. Oh yeah, just a few extra things I guess about the rest of the trailer and all the other Harbingers. I think the person playing chess with Piero in the very beginning is the Tsaritsa. We can see ice moving the knight, which makes me think that it's the Tsaritsa instead of Piero because he's just using his normal hands. The one singing Signora's theme in the beginning is Columbina. I really do love her voice in this, and I do wonder why she is ranked number 3. She seems a little bit on the crazy side if you ask me, but I do love her design, so I'm hoping that she's a playable character in the future. The rooster, I think, is manipulating Child, and he also looks like Igor from Persona. Pantalone is the guy Yelan's looking for. I don't know why, but he looks like OK Code's new VTuber model. It's just a really funny coincidence. Also, his name is really funny. I don't know why they named him Pants. Arlecchino, if hot, why evil? She is very attractive. To be honest, she looks kind of like a control freak in my opinion, but I've heard that she runs an orphanage, so maybe that's why. Not calling anyone who runs an orphanage a control freak. I like to think that Child went to Wangcheng Funeral Parlor to get a coffin for Signora. Capitano we know nothing about. Dottore is probably the most hyped up character thanks to being in the manga, because we've been waiting for him for forever. And Piero, the Jester, the first Fatui Harbinger, looks like he's from Conria. Oh yeah, and what if this last shot, where the camera pans out, is just us looking from the Tsaritsa's perspective? That'd be pretty cool, right? As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Reminder to check out LadySplitChin's videos in the description down below. Feel free to leave a comment on a theory you have for one of your favorite Harbingers. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.